What's in this thing?
Today we have the point of view GTX 280, released in mid-2008 for around £400 or $650. The GTX 280 had a GT200 GPU at its core, clocked at 602 MHz, with 1GB of GDDR3 clocked at 1107 MHz. As always, let's start by removing the screws from the backplate. With those removed, we can separate the heatsink and shroud from the PCB. Now we have the bare PCB exposed. First, let's remove the old thermal pads. Now we can clean the old thermal compound from the chip and clean down any residue and dust from the rest of the board. Let's give the back of the board a clean too. Some of you might have noticed the corrosion on the back of the PCB. It's a shame really, but at least now I know why the card doesn't work. Anyway, now onto the shroud and heatsink. Let's get the screws out so we can get them apart. Now they're separated, you can see that the side of the card is metal too and acts as part of the heatsink. I've removed the 3 screws holding the fan in place so we can have a quick look at it. Here's the model number if you ever needed it. Back to the heatsink. Now we can remove the old thermal pads and compound before giving the whole thing a wipe down. Next we can clean the plastic shroud and get rid of the dust that's built up over the last decade. Now the backplate. The thermal pads need removing and then we can clean that too. Finally, the PCIe slot cover. It only needs a quick clean. Now we have everything clean, it's time to put it all back together. I'm not going to apply new thermal compound or pads as this card is well and truly dead, but the process is still the same. First, the fan needs screwing back into place onto the heatsink, and then the heatsink can be placed back inside the shroud with the screws in place holding it together. Next, the PCB can be placed back onto the heatsink with a PCIe slot cover, and then the backplate. All that's left is the screws into the backplate, and that's it. It's a shame that this card isn't working, but I'm not surprised with all the corrosion on the bottom of the PCB. Hopefully, I can get another GTX 280 and we can have a look at that one another time.